All right, hey guys, welcome to Samco Tradbo. Today we're going to talk about setting these up, a GoPro up if you are capable of running 4K. Now the reason for this is I've done videos on the past on running 1080p or 1080 on there for high def if you can, but to run 4K, to be able to run 4K, you got to have the computer power and the capability to edit those videos. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. And I know that GoPro has an app and video thing where you can do a lot of that too. I don't mess with that. I just do it all myself. But point being, if you can edit 4K, on whatever system you have, I'm going to show you how to set this up the right way for 4K and how it works. So I have mine set up that way now. We just bought another one, which will be a backup for me. I love these 11s. They're one of the very few GoPro lines that don't freeze up, give fits, have problems, do things occasionally. The 11 is awesome. I love the 11. I hear the 12 is like that too. The 8 was really good. The 10 had a bunch of issues, but this one seems to be fantastic. I've been using it now for over a year, and I love it. Almost 2 years, actually, and I love it. So, like I said, these are fantastic cameras. This particular, the 11 especially, and we're going to set this new one up to match this. And I'm going to show you all the different modes I set, all the different presets I make, and the things, again, being focused around the 4K aspect of this. Okay, that's what we're looking for the most. So, all right, I'm going to bring you in, and we're going to set you up and get this whole thing ready for you. So I'll be right back. So here's what we got for this. Here's what I have. I have my, this is a 8x12 cm, they call it, 8x12 lens case from GoPro. I love these. These I think they're small, but this is what I use. It fits those cameras in. Really nice to be able to stuff them right in here and use them as to have them, they fit in there perfectly. You can even carry this right on your pouch, on your pack if you want to, whatever you want. But for me, they make it perfect to take this whole thing. Once I have that camera in there and done, I can take this and I can just throw it right in my camera, in my my gear bag, and it's always good and protected. So I like these pouches. They're not expensive. If I remember, I will try to link one of these for you down on Amazon below. This one I bought on Amazon, 245 bucks. I gave you guys a deal alert on my social media. Hopefully you took advantage of it. And let's see what we got in here with the other 300 of these I got. I don't lose it. So then there we have that. So we then are going to open the camera up. We're going to drop in the card. So we got a card in there. There we go. And you're going to want to charge these batteries up before you use them. So we're going to charge these up so that they're good and set. And I'll probably just grab another one of my other batteries. But we're going to charge this, and then we're going to start our process. Oh, forgot this was in here too. This was nice. This came with it. This is a little clip right here that you can put on your hat or anything. Little bitty clip came with this when you bought this setup here, which is pretty sweet because it's just so simple. But if you got a baseball hat, it'll fit right on it. You can clamp that on anything you want to, just a little clip style, and you use your same adapter right here to put in there. So a very nice little thing that they give you, that bonus. We got our two other clips. So we got all of our pieces and parts here. And here's our other one, and here's what that's for right there. So you can clamp that on there anywhere. So we have all of our goodies. Right here's what we got. And for the $245 deal, it's absolutely amazing. That deal is not on anymore. When I went and just looked at it, it was $349 for this deal. So to get it for $245 for what we got here was a fantastic option. Always be watching for deals, and I do my best to let you know when they're coming. Now, we're going to bring that camera around, set it here so I can actually, we're going to put a battery in this, and we're going to set this up where I can walk you through how to program this thing and have it set for 4K use for hunting. Be right back. All right, first thing we want to do, we got the camera here, we got our old one right here that we are going to use as a reference for this because like I said, it took me a long time to get these things set up the way I like them. So we have it, but notice I have stealth strips on the front. That is because this screen, even if you have it turned off, there's a lot of glare that comes off of that screen, more so than we need. We don't want that on there. So we're going to take this and we're going to just wipe this off. And I took a piece of stealth strips. If you don't have stealth strips, call Lou up at Stealth Outdoors and get yourself at least 5, 8, 10, 35, or 100 of these rolls so you have them laying around. These are super valuable for everything. But we went ahead, cut a piece of this. That's kind of what we want. Remember, always nip your corners off. Corners are where things peel up from. So nip the corners off of it. But we're going to get this to come free, which can take a second here. Stuff sticks like, these things are amazing. I think we got it. See if I can get that to peel off. And we can. We're going to peel that off of there. Set that there. And then we're going to put this right on there. I don't think I had a certain way. But I want it to be kind of eyeballed in here where we're going. That works. That works. There it is. And I'm even covering the red light that's on the top on this one. On this one, I left that red light where it would just stick out of the top. I don't need it for anything anyway. I never once have looked at that red light on the front, so I don't care. But there, now we have that completely sealed off, so now we're not getting that glare. We're getting less. The only thing we got glare from is the lens. So that one is vitally important in my opinion. That's huge. I can't emphasize that enough. So we got that done. Now what we're going to do is we are going to fire this one up to use as reference. We're going to hit the side button because we want to be able to, we don't want to start recording right away. So we're going to let that kick in. We got it set there. We're going to take and put a battery. It's one of my other batteries. We're going to stick a battery in this one. Now when you put your battery into these, you want to make sure it closes. But the key thing to remember on a GoPro is you need to put pressure in the middle of the door. When you go to close this, don't just try bending this over. You got to, because it's got this pad right here that does the work, okay? Pull this out, push down on that pad, and then push in on that to make sure that that seat's right. Let's fire this one up. Should be first time firing up. There it is. Hear all that crap? We don't want that, okay? We don't want that noise on there. We got to get this thing dialed in. So that is going to be our goal here. So we're going to go through the first couple of setups. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here to preferences. So I'm going to go scroll down on my preference tab at the top. We're going to pull that down. See how this one's got sound off? This one has sound on. I want sound off. Now the beeps are off. We've got rid of the beeps. That is done. That's perfect. What do we got on here? That's an X. That's an X. That's good. That one's on. That's fine. That's on a lock. That's good. Horizon lock is I have on is what I believe that is. So we're going to find out what that is when we get to it. Let us see here. What are the front screen? That is the front screen. We want the front screen off. I do not want a front screen showing whatsoever. So we turn that off completely. And this one, like I said, seems to have some more features on it. There's another, what is this? Video mode will be disabled. Max, oh, we want to cancel that. We don't have a max lens on there. Okay. So we got, then this one we are changing to that one which orientation is locked. We like that orientation locked myself personally, so we have that set. So that's good. Let's scroll over one more. Scroll over on this one more so I can compare it and verify. Video mode is highest. We got video mode on highest. We like that. Controls on easy. We are changing that. We want these controls to be on pro. So we want to go to, what is our pro right there. So we are leaving that on pro. And that is good. And then preferences. We're going to go through these preferences and see how I have them set up on here for comparison purposes. So you can make sure that it's right for you and then we'll set the things. But so let's go over here to preferences. Set auto upload, is everything there is good, the same. Let's go to general settings on here, make sure I didn't get anything different. Okay, beep volume, I want that on low. And there we go. Here it's even on medium somehow, but that's fine. But capture on, last video used, that's good, last video used. Auto power off. I do not ever want it to power off on its own. So we want to switch that to never, okay? And then we go from there, LEDs all on, we want all off. I have all off on mine. So we got all LEDs off, which is why it didn't matter if I covered that front one on there or not. Anti-flicker, 60 hertz. Anti-flicker, 60 hertz. We're good there. So it does all of those simple general ones. We're going to back out of that. We're going to back out of this. It's why it's such a nice feature to have one that you already have set up as a reference. Every time I buy new cameras, doesn't matter if they're for work or if they're these Sonys like this one I'm recording on, any of this stuff, it's nice. I set them up the same on how to do this. So it's just a beautiful feature. Okay, so we got general set up on there. Hang on. We did general. We want to go to GPS and see if there's anything in there I need to change. We got it on off, so we are good there. Okay, voice controls we don't care about at all because we are not going to use them. They're turned off. So that's good there. And that does that. GPS is off, so that's all of our, that is all of our preferences there. Let's go back to here. We are at displays. Displays there. We got display should be set to landscape, never, and match rear screen. So let's hit displays. Landscape, 1 minute. Screensaver rear. Okay, now we don't want that to only be 1 minute and turn off. We want that to never turn off. So we go here and we go to never. Okay, so we have that set. Match screen back, that's good. We're perfect on there. Sorry, I'm fighting with the glare and trying here for you. So that's good. So now we're going back out of displays. Language is fine. Date, time. We're going here. Let's go back to where that is. Hold on. Date, time, language, that's all set. We already did that. Mods, are we doing anything in mods? Hide and NA, so we check mods. Lens mod, max lens mod. I don't know what that is, so we're turning that up. Control to the dashboard enables max lens mode when a max lens mod is attached. We don't have that. That's why I don't see that on here, so now we have that hid. So we're not dealing with that. That's why we had that extra menu in there. And then that's it. Right there is good. And then we are going to go into here to reset. We're going to format this card real quick. Brand new card. We just put it in. But see, this is why having another one is always a great thing. You know, it took a long time of messing with things to get this exactly how I wanted. And now we have it set up perfectly. Now we got all that stuff done in preferences. We got all the preferences done. And now what we're going to do is we are going to actually set up all of our modes like we have on here. So we got to get back out of here. Hold on. Get this out of here. And we have all of these modes and features down here. You can see I got a bunch of them on here. We are going to fix these and set some of these up like I want them to be. So that is the game plan. All right, so we're going to set up these modes down here. Right in the center you see. So we basically got that stuff all pretty much set up here. These are your different things. You got your, let's take this back to home. Hold on. So I can look at it. These are your zoom levels. You can tap on here. We want to go, this is for your ratios. We're going to change all this anyway, so none of that's going to matter once we set this up. See, these are what pretty much control where these 4 shortcut keys are on here. But we're going to go here. They're going to give you some presets. You can add new ones if you want to, or modify these ones. I prefer to usually just modify these. But like my full frame is the one I'm going to use most often. So we're going to change that one here. We're going to click on it. That's the one, full frame. We got to go back to it. We're never going to shoot in 5.3, not for years. So we're going to change this, and we're going to hit the edit button. We're going to change the resolution, and we are going to go to 4K, which we're going to click here. 30 frames per second we want. Now, see how you're on 8 by 7, 4 by 3, or 16 by 9 up here in the very top of this? We want to switch that to be 4:3, 4/3 ratio. Okay, there's some advantages to this a lot. So we're going to leave it at that. So that's going to basically do that. And then to get out of here, so we have our resolution. We want to get, no, we want 4K 30. We got to check it again. Yeah, it could have kicked us back. We want 4K 30, and we want at 4.3. So we're good there. And what do we, stop messing with me. 4K 30 and here. Why are you fighting me? 4K, 30, and 4.3. There it is. Perfect. Leave that. Now change it. Why am I not? What is my deal here? Come on. How do I get off this screen? 4K 30, so let's check that again. We are at 4K 30, 4/3. There we go. 4K 30 frames per second, 4K 4.3. That is what we want. So we tap that, call it good. So we are good there. Now we can go through this stuff. Let me actually go double check to make sure I got everything set right on mine. On my other one, it's over here. I'm going to go to 4K 30 frame right here. I want to click on that. Okay, and I want to edit that to see. Okay, so we got a wide lens. I want to change that to linear with horizon lock. Okay, so I think it's probably down here, linear with horizon lock. That means that when yes, that's fine. Linear with horizon lock is good. And that means that when we spin it, it's going to stay level. I really like that. Hyper smooth we want on. Now you can change that to different ones. I like the on as standard. I don't need it boosted. Schedule capture off. No limit on duration. Hindsight is off. That's fine. Now here we're going to make some changes again. Zoom is 1.0. That's fine. Timer is off. Okay, we are going to go down one more here. 10-bit doesn't give us the option, but we want a high bit rate. Auto shutter. EV comp. Okay, and then we got auto white balance, and here's where it gets interesting. We've got a minimum of 100 for ISO, but max is set at 1600. We want to change that to 6400 so we can use this in low light conditions. ISO max, we are going to change this all the way up to 6400. If you go all the way to the top, it's going to go to auto. Okay, you don't want to go to auto. You got to go down one more. You got to move this to 6400. Right there where it's at there on your slider. You got to put that in 6400. So we're good there too. So 6400. Medium, color natural is good. Raw, off audio, wind noise audio are set good. And then I don't think I changed anything else on here. Those are our setups. Hyper smooth lens, ISO, zoom rate, ISO, lower right is zoom. Lower right is ISO max on here. Hold on. I got that set, we got slow motion, upper left. Oh, so they're just positioned in different things, and I'm okay with that because I don't ever mess with them once I have these set. So there it is right there. So there's our setup on there. So now we got 4K, 4/3 frame, and we have it set completely. Hang on, let me get out of this. Stop it. Like I said, these little screens get annoying. Okay, so that matches 4K, 4.3 ratio, and 30 linear. That is the one that you want to set up. Now you can set up any of the other ones you want to on here too. Like only other one I care about that I'm basically going to set up that unless I change later, but I got that one. I want to change my standard. I'm going to change my standard one, and I'm going to make that more of a nighttime only type mode. So what we're going to do is go standard. We're going to edit it. I'm going to change this to 1080p. Or 1080 right here on that. We're going to leave it at 30K, or 30 resolution, sorry. It won't let me do this, okay? It won't let me do 4/3. So 16:9 is all I can do, but we are going to do 1080, and we are going to do it at 30 frames a second, and this is basically becomes like my nighttime mode here is what this becomes for that last 15 or 10 minutes of light, trying to get as most as I can out of there. Changing my lens to linear with horizon lock again on there because I want that feature. And good, and then we are going to leave hyper smooth on. We're not changing any of this stuff, but we are going to make sure that ISO settings again are changed here from max ISO is 1600. I want to change that all the way up to 6400, so we get 6400 on the ISO, and everything else is basically staying the same, and we are good. So that's what we want on that one. So those are the two that are set up. I got standard, I got full frame. Full frame is the one that this is going to live on, except for, like I said, those last couple minutes of daylight, I might open this up, hit it, and then touch standard. Now it is only 1080, 30, but 1080 on 30 is it needs less detail, so it will look grainy, but it won't have all that pixelation and weird particulation and happening in those very low light conditions. So that's the setup. Now we're going to dive into some more stuff, but that's how it's set up, is right here. This is the way I run it. Now I'm going to take you in and show you why we run it that way and why we have that. As you can see, horizon lock, nothing happens to it when we turn this, okay? Notice this stuff is staying right there, no matter what I do with it, no matter how I turn it. That's what horizon lock does. And I just found out about that about 3 months ago, and I straight up love it. So that's a beautiful feature. But now we're going to go dive in and, like I said, show you why we use 4.3 aspect ratio and 4K and 30 of a frame. So let's go show you that real quick. All right, so what we're going to do here, we are in Premiere Pro, which is what I use, but I'm going to show you how that benefits you using the 4:3 aspect ratio and the 4K aspect ratio. So we got two files in here. This is a test. I actually already made this because I did it, and then I didn't have my mic turned on, so we're doing it again. One of those stupid things. But so anyway, but the key thing is we want to always build our sequencer file based on a 16:9 ratio. So the 16:9 and 1080, because that's how we're going to export for YouTube or for our videos. I do not release videos in 4K. I don't think you need to. Nobody cares or notices, and it's much less file space. So, but it's up to you. But 16:9 is what the world watches. So we're going to click on this file, and we are going to make it our new one. Yes, I'm going to replace that one because we're starting this whole thing over again. And here it is. So now we got a 16:9, 1080 file in here, and I got the whole details. So we're set here. So we got that file, sets the parameters of our sequence. Now we're going to add in the GoPro file that we have here. Now we have a GoPro file in here, and it's this one with me, you see here, 16:9, 1080, everything set for ready to go for YouTube on how we want it. This one is not. Okay, this is the 4K 4/3 ratio version in the GoPro, but we got to make some changes to this first. Notice here, like as we just load this in, notice a couple of things. Notice first how zoomed in this is. That's a beautiful thing, but it's because we shot in 4K and it's taking it to 1080 because this file's in 1080. It's not taking it, but it's zooming it in to 1080. This frame is all 1080. So when we added this one to it, it says take that into 1082. So it zoomed this file in. So when we look at this file on here, look at how big it really is. We can take this back out, but we got to go a long way to get back to, you know, to take it from 4K to 1080 as far as perspective, which is going to be somewhere about right there. Okay, that's going to be the width of 1080. See how much wider that got? And we'll show you an example of this in a minute. So we're going to leave this right here. We're going to actually grab this, and we're going to add another one of these in here too. And then we're going to trim this shot. We're going to make this just about this shot. So we're going to take it right here. We're going to trim it there. We're going to go over here to just past the shot. just a touch, and we're going to trim it right there. We're going to get rid of this stuff just to make this easier to work with. And then we're going to do the same thing on here. We're going to go to right here. We're going to trim that there, and we're going to go to just past the shot, and we're going to trim that right there. So that one's done too. All right, so now when we look at this, let's bring this in, bring this in. All right, so here is our 1080 resolution version. Here's our 4K resolution version. Okay, that's the beauty of 4K. Look at how much more zoomed in this is. Okay, this is a beautiful thing that we're that tight on it here because of using the 4K. This is 4K versus 1080. There's what it looks like in 1080 resolution. Here's how far you can be zoomed in on 4K and still have 1080 resolution. That is a big, big factor to why we do this. It allows us 4 times the zoom power and still the same resolution as this, but we can go from this all the way to this. See the difference? How much we can zoom that in by using 4K. Now the other advantage here, okay, is the 4/3 ratio. Okay, even here where we have this at, you can see that we are about the same width, black bar to black, the width of this is coming in right at our same 1080 or 16:9 ratio at 1080, but because we shot it in that 4/3 setup, okay, that 4/3 ratio, we have all this extra space on top. Look at this, all the way up here, all the way down to here, okay? So if this was the bottom of the frame, that's centered perfect. But what if you had this thing on your head, you had it tilted in, and you were running it right here? Okay, that sucks that this is not centered out well, and there's nothing you could do about it if you were in this one. Okay, I can't grab, if I grab this and move it, I get black bar, it's framed exactly at 16:9 ratio and 1080 when we recorded it. We have zero wiggle room in this recording. However, in this recording right here, even if it's zoomed out, we still have that buffer. So if we look at this and go, God, that sucks, it's way down here, because it was shot in a 4/3 rather than a 16:9, can grab it and we can do this with it all the way up to here if we needed to and reframe that. It gives us that marginal buffer zone on the top and on the bottom, which is nice. And then because of it being 4K, if this looks too wide, we can actually bring it into the 4K and have it look like this. We can even take this one and move it and adjust it. If we want it smaller, we say we wanted it was too zoomed in, we just shrink it up a little bit and then put it in where we want to. We have everything framed perfectly, and there it goes. That versus, so if we look at these two side by side here, okay, seamless transition in from that one into that, but look at the difference. Okay, that's huge. That's a big difference in, I'm going to just do it slow motion here so we can see it, but look at the difference in frame from that view at 1080 to this view at 4K and centering it. That's the reason we actually make this that way. That's the reason we shoot in 4/3 and we shoot in 4K. Now, whatever software your program you're using probably does this, but again, this is a way more advanced video, but this is the reason, again, not to beat a dead horse, but for 4K 4/3 ratio, this is why we set that up. It is this right here, being able to have the luxury of going from this to this. Now imagine if this was a deer we were shooting at from a tree stand, and this is what the whole world on GoPro, this is how they see it, and they don't get the luxury, so theirs might look like this. It might be off center here. They don't have the luxury of moving it. We do. We can center everything out perfectly, and then we also have that luxury of making it zoomed in like this. We can do whatever we want to with it. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.